Alright, project for this morning is pulling this head. We back on the 4x4 and I don't know where we left off, so did injector cups on this motor and was spinning it over to lube everything, and then ended up hearing a cough, and with the valve covers off I could see the number 8 exhaust valve push rod was not touching the rocker and the lifter gave away. So we're gonna have to pull ahead to get the lifter, and y'all can see some movement and light down there. We got Tristan under the bottom pulling the up pipe manifold bolts, and I'm gonna start pulling alternator bracket and moving some stuff around up here. Then we got to pull all the injectors, glow plugs, all that stuff, and rockers, and then start cracking the head loose. So let's get in it. No, it's just out the way, it's fine. I'm just gonna get this out the way. If you want to pull some stuff, I'll let you pull whatever you want. I'm just
no, I just didn't know if you wanted me to start recording it.
It's already on.
Oh no.
Tap the back of the screen.
Turn it off.
Just tap the back of the. Yeah, okay, it's on. All right. The little red counter's on.
Yes.
And ain't no audio. I'm just doing it in time lapse. We'll go ahead and get this out. And that, I need a needle nose plier. Should be in the top right. There goes the glasses case.
Oh, I get it.
This'll work.
Magnetic case?
No, it's gravity fed. Alright, all of that's off. Put that, not with the other ones, because we want to remember which one. Some of those may not be that good. Alright, so we got this. So we're gonna pull the ICP. Alright, I need a, that's a 10 maybe. Yeah.
10?
I got one. I'm just trying to get all this harness out the way. And I'm kind of wondering if I ought to pull the damn spider. I don't think I need, well, yeah.
You're gonna start to.
Okay.
The music acting on.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. How about a black short 13 impact? And swivel head ratchet for it. Thank you, sir. And I need the yellow impact with this 1/2-inch driver in it. The drivers are in the tray. Always break these long bolts with that first. Oh, you sorry ass motherfucker. I missed my tool tray thing. You know how the air dam makes a spot for you to put tools? Anyway, see, this is all shot. This is just going to be an experiment. That's going to be hilarious. That junkyard truck we just finished is going to be Need less babysitting than this fucker.
Yeah, you don't need a little love.
Okay, I need a out of the 1/4" deep rack on the top, I need an 8 long 1/4" extension and the ratchet, the cordless ratchet, please. And I got a 10 up here, so the 10 should be this. Give me a short zip tie out of the top, please. You feeling like a surgery nurse? You know, scalpel, clamp. Yeah, that's cool. What I do with these is you know all that goes together. 8. Let me see. What you got?
I was gonna say these are already loose.
What? Yeah, that one here. Which one is the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to do the top. Alright, so we got the bottom on that one. I need the top on this one. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
In the back of the shop, back by the bandsaw,
Okay.
they got a piece of plywood, about a foot square.
Yeah.
Grab that motherfucker and bring it over here. Thank you. Set that up where your blue rag is on the air conditioning lines and stuff. So we got a platform to put some kind of figure way to make it kind of half-ass solid. And we got a little, you know, tool area, you know. Hey, did you see? Well, no, you can't see from back there. Never mind.
What's that?
I was gonna say, if I was trying to see if we had any. If I'm this far though with the turbo shit, I just assume. Here, put that with the spider, and look, this one too. All right, that's what I need, sir. You the man. Now, you know what you're gonna have to do? You got to remind me to get this shit out of here when the time comes, so I don't suck this shit down in the hole. All right, let's see. What size was the ground wire for the air intake heater? You remember? Goes into the head.
Like a 10 or a 13.
How you like that stupid shit?
Yeah.
Look what they did. The ground is here, right?
Yeah.
And they put the other end of the ground to the bottom of the turbo. And why the fuck you gotta ground the turbo?
I don't know.
You see what I'm talking about?
No, dude, that goes over there.
No, but you remember this big heavy ground
Yeah.
goes with these. You know, the ground goes on first, this insulator goes on, then your hot goes on
Right.
the air intake heater. This ground goes to right here. All right, give me some, see if we got some dikes in there, some straight wire cutters. Either my long black ones like I use for crimping, or there just ain't no call for half-ass bullshit. Look at that. The whole goddamn plug is fucked up. All right. Let me stop this camera for a little. on this head, so we just winging it, baby. We making it happen. Yeah, I think we better doing this. I wonder if we ought to. We shouldn't need to pull the ICP. Just for shits and giggles, so we don't fuck it up.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it'd be better to pull it or not. What you think?
It can't hurt. I mean,
Alright, I need 1 1/8 and I need my spring hose clamp tool, because I believe, I wonder if we need to pull this radiator hose in this bracket. Probably so. Alright, 1 1/8 in that. Make sure you're right. Apply gravy liberally.
sounds
It's
like
nerve-wracking, ain't it?
Yeah, I might need a deep, huh?
Well, either that or what size is that? 13?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna go get. I got a deep in the shop.
We shouldn't need to pull the power steering off of the bracket.
Nope, we're gonna leave it on the bracket and lay it aside. Don't bend up my condenser now. You want the creeper back?
It should be alright. That creeper's a specialized piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they should have one at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. I know there's a fourth one. You have to use the eyes on your fingertips.
The top one was tight, boy.
Yeah, that top one wasn't playing. I'd start at the bottom and undo them all. And when you get to the last one, we'll just set it, you know, on top of the gearbox and let it do its thing. Once you get that out the way, I'll put the top side back in and start working on the injector reiners. Oh, I need something for that too. Be right back. Yeah, I'm really beginning to doubt their whole fucking story. Alright guys, I'm gonna catch you up. We did the little time lapse. We went ahead and pulled the turbo because the turbo impeller or turbo wheel had a more than a 1/4 inch in place, so we're gonna have to deal with that or find us another one around here. So again, we're after the head, so we're going ahead and pulling the power steering bracket, and we're just gonna set it down out of the way, give us a little bit more working room. And some of the stuff we're pulling may not need to be pulled, but there was some shitty mechanic work on this truck, so we want to make sure and, you know, put our hands on as much as we can to make sure somebody didn't screw it up. So get this off, and then I'm gonna come as soon as we get the power steering pump bracket off and lay it aside. I'm gonna get on these injectors. I'm gonna pull all the little discharge spouts, because that cast aluminum breaks really easy, and I usually can pull them without it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway, and then we'll pull the injectors and start pulling the rockers. Guys, anytime I'm fooling with the head and you get these glow plugs, they almost should be the first thing out and the last thing in. The reason I take them out is so I don't forget them. And the reason they're the last thing to go in is because we're letting all the oil in the oil galley get into the engine, and we're gonna have to burp it out. But we're pulling the head, so we're gonna be able to wipe it out by hand today. But you know, normally if you're swapping injectors out, or if you're swapping injectors out or doing anything in there that would open that oil galley and let that crap into the drain into the cylinders, you're gonna want to leave the injectors out, and that way you can spin the motor over and burp it and make sure that you don't hydrolock anything. Fingers have to see. Is that in your way, or you need it?
Should be good.
All right. Well, if you can get it hooked, you want to go in some more though, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and get your hook on there. And then while you just stay where you at. All right, guys. So just to catch you guys up, we got all of the head bolts out except for one, and we got our little 8mm 125 metrics in the rocker holes right here in the center, so that'll give us some seesaw action to fish it out of here. The exhaust is still on, up pipe is off, and you can see the rubber band in the back holding that bolt up so that we can snake it out, and then everything around the head is off. So we're getting ready to pry it and fish it out of there.
Alright, y'all, what we're fixing to do is go back in with a good lifter. I just got them on this magnet here, clocked the way it's supposed to be, and we're gonna try to stab them in there.
We'll show you a clip of it as soon as he gets it in there and seated. We'll put the camera down there where y'all can see.
Maybe it's not that great of a tip.
This is the first time he's gone in with protection on the magnet, and
just trying not to get no debris, not too much debris in there.
yeah, we don't want no debris on it. The other 8 he just pulled went way faster than this, but basically stick it in there and pull your magnet off, and then alright, so I'm gonna hand this to Tristan and he's gonna show y'all down the hole. You might need the light too, just the screen is, let me touch it so I, there you go, put the light on. Down a little, I'll hold it right there, that's perfect.
My light was cut off. You can see the retainers in the right direction, and both the lifters are clocked and they're gonna spin the right way.
Yeah, they're clocked where the flats are at the top and bottom.
Right.
And he's strobe lighting y'all like y'all at the nightclub. Think our light has had enough for today. Alright, so we're gonna run the 10 mil down in there and snug it, and we'll have to find out the torque later. And then we gotta clean this gasket surface here, clean the head, bottom of the head. And the only other thing we did with the lifter came out of one of the other motors we had that has some other problems, so we robbed the lifter and put it in there, oiled it down real good with some fresh Rotella, and we snugging it up, and we'll probably splash a little oil on it before we put the head on too.
You gotta make sure it's actually threaded. It's a good tip.
All right, guys, we're gonna come back to you once we get into the cleanup. Alright guys, I just realized that we didn't film the pulling of the head. I may or may not have gotten footage on that, I don't remember. So we just got the head upside down and we're just buffing off the residue from the head gasket. And once we get that cleaned and shined up and blown out, we're gonna come on in here, pull the cover on this thing, buff it down, and then we'll be ready to go in, and we'll get more footage of the going back in with the engine hoist, just in case we missed it on the first go round.
Alright guys, our next step is to tap the head bolts in the block. Or thought a useful bit of information to tell y'all would be that the tap is a 12mm by 1.75, and it's from what I hear pretty useful to tap the head bolt holes Let's see if I get this one in there. Nope. Let's see. Would this be called a head bolt? Or the thread in the block, I guess.
Yeah, that's for the head bolts.
What you would call it. So we're going all the way till it stops?
Yeah, just take your time till you feel it deadhead. Just, you know,
Okay.
and back it off every now and then. And if it gets stuck, we'll have to take it out and clean it, clean the threads. So guys, what you want to do is take your time on these threads, chase them, and then every now and then, again, you know, you got to back the tap off so it'll clean itself. And then when you get you know, if you get too stuck, you can back it off and spray some brake clean in there and blow it out. And if not, you're going to turn around and you know, if you think you got to bottom, but chase them a couple of times and spray some brake clean in there and blow them out real good. And you want to make sure that you got these, you know, real clean, all these threads really clean. We're going back with new head bolts and just a very light coat of engine oil on the head bolts. No Never-Seez or grease or anything else. Just a little, we're going to do a little Rotella T4 1540 and just a very light coat on the threads so that they'll torque down correctly. But there's 18 holes, and show them the gradu on the...
Not too much on this one.
So you can clean your tap, you know, with a rag or some brake clean, but you just want to make sure that you go through and be kind of thorough right here and take your time. If it takes 2 or 3 trips in the hole, then it takes 2 or 3 trips in the hole, but that way you'll get a good torque down on the heads, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, we squirted some oil on the lifters, and we kind of rubbed a little oil in the cylinders just so they don't have a dry start, because we've been brake cleaning everything and cleaning carbon. And so we did a little wipe down of the gasket surface with brake clean, and we're getting ready to put the gasket on there and pick the head up with the crane over there, and we're gonna pick her up and get her ready to come on in here and set her on the head, and then we'll run our new bolts and try and get everything torqued down. I may try and get a snapshot for you guys of the torque sequence, and it's a 3-step sequence, so we'll walk it down in three different steps, you know, increasing the torque each time. The final step, the first 2 steps have a circular inside to out bolt pattern, kind of typical bolt pattern torque sequence, and then the final one is linear, which is basically, if I remember right, the bottom row, the middle row, the next middle row, and the top row. But I'll get a snapshot for y'all so y'all can see it. Alright peeps, so we, typical fashion, the GoPro battery committed sideways and as we were starting to torque these down. So we did the first torque in a circular fashion, and I'm gonna I'll show you a picture of that here in just 1 second. And that is the first 2 torque sequences are 65 and 85, and then the final sequence is 95, but the order is different. So y'all can snapshot this with your phone. See if I can get it in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it goes around like that. So the first 2 sequences are this pattern as 65 and 85. And then the final sequence, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all now. Wave all this in your face so y'all get dizzy. Is in a linear. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, da 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 da. So that's the final 95 sequence. So again, we would have had our first one on there, but the battery decided to commit sideways. So now we're gonna get round 2 at 85. All right, well, we're on the last row here. We got the muscle clicking 95 foot turns.
Top dot.
He got his ankle weights on and everything. We got a ratchet strap handy in case we need it. He's going to battle. We want to see who's going to win, Henry Ford or the muscle.
Been a good fight so far.
Push on the creeper if you want. I got you.
Let me get a good angle.
I ain't putting this on time lapse. We getting this on regular.
Come here.
I don't have his legs in the camera shot, y'all, but y'all missing some shit, and I'm about to get the teeth kicked out of my mouth.
Okay.
My boy done swim 20 laps already. Put y'all on time lapse. See, we can always come back and Loctite that if we got to. Hopefully that O-ring's still good. Well, that's the O-rings.
That's the O-rings that I gave you.
Yeah, I wonder if we ought to. Think we ought to throw one, or I don't know, because we.
That's not the right. That's not the O-ring. The O-rings is for the.
Oh, for the plug. Yeah.
And
for the
pump
two pump side ends.
Yeah, because these are different.
That's yeah. So those O-ring, that O-ring's smaller.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, just snug it like that. Click.
I forgot the shake.
All right, cool. You want the ICP? Are you there?
Yeah, one in the east.
You're getting at it, though. Hey, man. Don't let the old man do nothing. That's okay. I'm putting them injectors in. I'm just telling you now. Let a man buy lunch. He think he own the fucking place. You wanna know what's stupid? I'm so used to the fact that you cannot do the ICP with the box in, with the alternator in the way, that I took it off the other day with the open in, and the alternator wasn't there.
Sure.
I know I took it off yesterday with the opening. I don't know if the alternator was there or not. All right, so we're going in with the push rods. I'm gonna verify that these are in the lifters and with the mirror after we done, and then we're gonna put the rocker assemblies on, and the injectors are gonna be last. Okay, let's get our injectors, and we're going, the rockers, and put those on. So
Yep.
All right, well, we got all the way done kind of just running these down loosely, and I forgot that it'd probably be a real good idea to put a little assembly lube on these push rods. So we're gonna reverse procedure before we continue and do each one with a little assembly lube. We'll put y'all on time lapse so y'all don't have to sit there and watch all this repetitive crap. Alright, so we got the rockers lubed with the Lucas assembly lube, and that's slicker than snot on a pump handle. So if y'all look at these bolts, they have a long shoulder, whereas if you can see, these bolts are threaded most of the way. So the long shoulder bolt is the upper hold down bracket bolt for the horse collar that holds the injectors in. So these you're gonna run in and torque them down to 10 foot-pounds. They don't ever have to come out unless they get in your way. We had to pull them because breaking in the head bolts and torquing the head bolts, they were in the way. And y'all may notice this one's a little bit out of whack. Well, if you want to see what the story is with that, you can go back to the earlier versions of the 4x4 and when I spent about a week and a half trying to drill this bolt out. But anyhow, so we're going to torque these down to 10 foot-pounds on the injector hold down bolts and 20 foot-pounds on the rocker assembly bolts. It's injector time. We're checking all the cups, making sure everything looks clean, and we're getting ready to go back in. I got one little spot with some green Loctite in here I'm gonna have to address real quick, and we're gonna clean that up and then start going in with injectors. Little brake clean, little bottle brush. Y'all may recognize the bottle brush from the injector cup install job. So we're gonna see if we can get that shined up. Let me see your little blue pick. Popping a loose the little little plastic scraper. Get her out of there. There we go. All right, almost done. We'll come back to y'all in a minute. We got these all wiped down. These were put in, but they were, put in for 30 seconds of running before we saw the lifter goof up. So everything looks good on here. We've inspected the O-rings. We've wiped it down. Any green Loctite that was stuck around, we've kind of got that all off. And so we're gonna take a squirt bottle of Rotella oil and just put a little bit on each one. Get them real good and lubed up. That way everything slides in, you don't roll an O-ring. And again, these are all brand new O-rings that we put in when we did the injector cups before we found out about the lifter situation. So just oil it up. Can't ever have too much lubrication. So we're getting ready to go back in. Alright guys, so here we are getting ready to go in with the first cylinder. The holes are clean, we got our lube. I went ahead and got a new set of crush washers. So you always want to make damn sure that when you pull injectors, the crush washer either comes off with the injector, or sometimes it's down in the hole, but you don't want to double them up. So we went ahead and put fresh crush washers on them. Give us our best shot. And oiled up, drop them in the clean hole. Line up your little horse collar on your upper bolt. Take your rubber mallet or a dead blow. Walk them in slow, and you'll hear the transition. So we'll flip you on the time lapse and we'll get the other three. Alright guys, I wanted to show you one thing I kind of forgot. These injectors are going in easy because they were already in the hole, but a lot of times when you got new O-rings that are you know, kind of fat, you can take a 5/8 stubby, catch the horse collar down here, and give it a little push. If you know, these are, like I said, these are sliding in. See how that went down? So you have your upper bolt hooked, and you put the 5/8 on the horse collar and push it down, and that'll make it seat to its final position. All right, you can stop. Alright guys, we back. I know you couldn't see much with the muscle in the way there, but so what we're looking at is just making sure that these are clocked good, and you know, everything's fitting together happy. He's running the little bottom bolts in. Again, if you just pull in injectors, you don't have to take the tops out. They can stay put. They torque to 10, so we're just going to run them down and give them a little snug with the 1/4 inch, and then we'll come back and torque them. And so that's pretty much popping injectors in. We still got to come back and put our little downspouts or discharge spouts on. You don't have to pull them off, but they're cast aluminum and they're fragile as eggshells, and I end up breaking at least one every time I do them. So it's worth taking the Allen screw and pulling the little discharge spout, but you'll see us doing that on time lapse here in a second. We'll get this, just give these a little wipe down and stab them in the bottom hole. Make sure your horse collar is seated on the top, and then run her in.